Hi and welcome back to my channel. We've had a super interesting week in the stock market. I am up, and I'm about to hit another huge milestone on the channel. So stay tuned for all of those things. As we can see on the day, I'm up 57.79. On the week, I'm up about 5%. On the month, now up almost 10% or $650. Over the past 3 months, up $1,600, which is incredible. That's about a 28% return. Over the past year now, up 13.5%, at all time now, up $956.49. The reason that is so important is, as you can see, I'm very close to hitting $1,000 gains on Robinhood. I have never had a $1,000 gain in my portfolio, and I am super excited to see what that holds for me moving forward. But of course, I purchased another $150 in stocks last week. My total investment is now $6,450. With that additional $150, I purchased $55 of Bitcoin, which bought me 0.006 Bitcoin. My new position is 0.174 Bitcoin, and my price there was 91.6613. I also purchased one more share of Logitech. Of course, that dividend is coming up in September. That one share cost me $67.34. And last but not least, I purchased one share of Penn National Gaming or Barstool Sports at $30.06. Now we're going to talk about why that purchase of Penn could be good in the short term and what we've got to look forward to in the long run. But first, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you want to see next, and like the video. I'm up to 130 subscribers. Thank you so much for the support. Of course, we've all been waiting for the return of sports, especially me as a sports fan. This is awesome to see. So Wednesday night is actually going to be the start of the Major League season. Of course, my videos are super far behind, so the baseball season will be long into the season by the time this comes out, but I am doing my best to catch up. But here's talking about what is going to change for baseball. A lot of these changes are going to be the same for all sports, but again, this is a huge stepping stone towards really a more normal life for everyone right now. So after a 4-month delay due to the coronavirus and some back and forth negotiations, Major League Baseball's 2020 season is starting up on Thursday. For opening day, baseball fans will get to watch the Nationals host the Yankees and the Dodgers take on the Giants. The other 26 teams will start their season on Thursday. In 66 days, teams will play 60 games as a part of the agreement between the leagues and the Players Association. Below are all the details you need to know. So here are the really important changes. Of course, I love sports, so being able to see sports at all is huge, but these are a little bit odd. No fans at the stadiums. Games will be televised. Teams will play games in their division and interleague based on regional division opponents. So for example, if you're in the National League West, you'll only play teams in the National League West and teams in the American League West, and vice versa. The Yankees will only play teams in the American League East and the National League East. That is extremely different. Postseason play will not be any different than it was in 2019. There will be 3 division winners and 2 wild cards per league. To begin the season, rosters will expand to 30 active players. After 2 weeks, 28 players will be on their list, and then after 4 weeks, it'll drop to 26. To make sure injuries are prevented to pitchers, the DH will be universal in 2020. That's a huge change. Personally, I don't like it at all. To prevent marathon games, if the game goes into extra innings, runners will be placed on second base. That's known as a California tiebreaker, and I do not like that at all. Brawls are strictly prohibited. Yeah, that's always been the case, but of course more important this year than ever. Other notable events happening this season, the trade deadline is on August 31st. The White Sox will play the Cardinals in Iowa at the Field of Dreams ball field on August 13th. Of course, that was a big headliner for the season. The date moved and the teams changed, but that will be cool to see. On August 16th, MLB will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues. Of course, if you know anything about baseball, super important. Legends like Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson, of course, were Negro League stars and never really got the recognition that they deserved in their time, so that's very important. Jackie Robinson Day will be held on August 28th. Jackie Robinson Day is normally held April 15th, and that's a huge one for Major League Baseball, so good to see they'll still be celebrating that. On September 9th, the league will celebrate Roberto Clemente Day. As far as I know, that this is the first year that they'll be celebrating Roberto Clemente Day, but of course, Puerto Rican baseball legend who tragically died in a plane accident going down to, I think, Honduras or Nicaragua after an earthquake. But the reason that I talk about baseball in this video is, of course, I have Penn National Gaming. So having sports will be huge for a casino company, especially with their subsidiary Barstool Sports, and I'm looking into buying DraftKings stock. They had their IPO last year and they've exploded, and I think that sports coming back is going to be huge because people want to get out and bet on sports just because they haven't been able to. And like I said, it's another way to sort of slowly move towards a new normal. So I think that'll be really interesting. Let me know what you think down below. My first stock we're going to talk about today is Vivint Solar. This has been a crazy stock for me recently. Growth-wise, total return is now $715, up 212%. For the first time ever, my stock value for a single holding is over $1,000, now worth $1,052. My cost was only $336, and I'm up $715. Of course, I wish I would have bought more even a month ago. As we can see on the week, it's now up 32%, and on the month now up 112%. 3 months is the largest gains, up 272%. And Sunrun has exploded as well, of course, because Sunrun purchased Vivint Solar, as I talked about last week. Right now, I just think it's a little bit too high to continue purchasing, but let me know what your thought is on that. Next is Realty Income, trading for $57.65. My total return is now positive on this one, which is good to see, up about $371. Of course, all of these REITs have been hit extremely hard, but I'm hoping that they're slowly going to recover, and I think now could still be a good time to buy, so I'm going to continue to watch this one. On the week, up only about 1%. On the month, down 6%. 3 months, up 15%. And we zoom out to the year, we can see the damage. So it was trading peak here in February at about $82, dropped down as low as $42, and has now sort of settled in the middle at $57. Of course, I like the monthly dividend here, and it's been a decent holding for me. So I'm looking at purchasing more Realty Income in the short term. Microsoft is now at the new all-time high at $212.77. Total return here is $117, or about 38%. On the week, we can see that they're up 3%. On the month, up 8%. 3 months now, up 23.5%. On the year, up 55%. And 5 years now, up 356%. 89% buy rating. Of course, cloud infrastructure is huge, and with everything going on, Microsoft is in pretty good position to continue to succeed, especially when we look at their earnings. They've been extremely solid, extremely consistent. I will continue to buy more Microsoft if I can. The problem here is that the price is a little bit above what I've been investing weekly at about $150. So my two options are to either sell some stocks, which I generally don't like to do, or to save up every single week. So that's definitely a possibility. And of course, I mentioned that Penn National Gaming could see a huge spike this week with sports coming back, baseball being this week, the NBA being right afterwards, the NHL being right afterwards, and then of course, football starting in the fall. So we're up $74 on this all time, or 33%. Over the past month, up about 5%. 3 months up 140%. Over the last year, we can see only up about $15.64, but I'm very happy with this. Of course, Barstool struggled mightily when all the casinos closed, as did Penn National Gaming, down to about $4.52 at one point, and has climbed rapidly upwards since then. And Logitech, as I mentioned earlier, I purchased an additional share there, now sitting at 4 shares. That dividend has been around 50 cents. Yearly. It only pays once a year in September, so I am going to purchase more Logitech shares as we get closer to that dividend date. Total return is now $102.18, or 55.53%. On the month, we can see it's performed very well. 3 months, extremely well. Over the past year, up 83%, and over the last 5 years, up 410%. Of course, my portfolio is very tech heavy, but as we're seeing in this pandemic, everything is going towards the side of tech. And these tech companies are not going to struggle nearly as much as sort of the consumer space, retail space has been struggling. So these earnings, Q4 of 2020 was down, and Q1 of 2021 is expected to be a little bit lower, but of course, good earnings here. I like the dividend. Strong buy rating on Robinhood. Let me know what you think. And the last stock we're going to talk about today is Pfizer, trading at $36.50. The reason I like Pfizer, of course, is they're working on one of the coronavirus vaccines. Not a whole lot has happened Pfizer-wise. I know Moderna is sort of a front runner right now for getting that vaccine out first, but decent dividend here, and my total return is now only down about 10%. It was down a lot more at one point, up 10% on the month. Over the past 3 months, up about 2.5%. Down 15% on the year, and over the past 5 years, only up 4%. Not totally sure what to do with this, but of course, like I said earlier, if they are able to get a vaccine out first, that could be huge for Pfizer and huge for my portfolio, despite the fact that it only makes up about 2% of my portfolio. Last but certainly not least, we have Bitcoin trading at $91.81 right now. My equity is $1,600. My average cost is $91.49, and my quantity is now 0.17434. Portfolio diversity, it is slowly creeping upwards. It goes up and down every single week depending on how much Bitcoin exactly I buy, but it makes up about 21.5% of my portfolio at the moment. Over the past week, it's down 0.5%. Over the past month, it's down about 2%. 3 months is still up 34%. Over the past year, down 15%. And over the past 5 years, up 3,200%. I'm not the best at looking at these holdings technically, but my understanding is that technically speaking, historically when Bitcoin's been this stagnant, it's due for a huge increase. I've seen reports that people are estimating it may hit 11,000 by August. Of course, we don't know about that yet. In this for the long run, and will be selling hopefully at the end of next year with large gains. We just don't know yet. Of course, I always like to shout this one out because it is the highest risk, highest reward holding in my portfolio, and of course the largest holding in my portfolio. I'm doing my best to get these videos out. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll be back with another one at the end of the week. Thanks.